A year ago today, after many years of silence, Mars Argo decided to file a lawsuit against Titanic Sinclair and Poppy for copyright and abuse. The abuse was mainly on the side of Sinclair, but there were accusations of stalking by Poppy. Argo and Sinclair had a working and also romantic relationship generally from 2008 to 2015 with their YouTube channel GroceryBad.tv. And my channel Marzi was based off that mystery and theories and going through old posts and trying to seemingly put things together to try and figure out where Argo went after she essentially went radio silent from between 2015 to 2018. And it was probably the first rabbit hole I really went down. I did probably hundreds of hours of research, and I definitely did hundreds of videos, at least 200 I would say. That's collectively between Mars Argo and Poppy. Just theories and just talking about their content and stuff like that. Now, I could talk about Mars Argo probably literally all day, and I still find the content very inspiring and such. But as this isn't about all that content and how great it was, although it does have some relevance to the lawsuit, as some of the older content is definitely visible to the breakdown of their relationship, both romantically and in a working capacity. For example, there's this clip which really should have shock value but doesn't, and also just a warning.
It's like I finally have $8,000 in the bank, and let's give it all to a fucking doctor because I don't have insurance. Then I'm gonna put a shotgun in my mouth and blow the brains out of the back of my head.
Cool.
And the reason why this doesn't have shock value to Argo is because Sinclair had been threatening similar things to her, according to the lawsuit, prior to filming that. And they also went from filming generally together, and although they are filming together in that video that I just showed, they started filming separately. Like, they would film like one-on-one, so like Sinclair would be filming Argo and Argo potentially filming Sinclair, or Sinclair filming himself. But there was also Tony Katay, so Tony Katay might have done it all. I don't know.
They've all treated me like a mouse.
Well, now I will be a god compared to you.
But there was also many references to there being issues in the songs that they released, including Runaway, Runaway, which had lyrics like this. Now, as I said, I don't want to babble on about Mars Argo too much because I very much could, but I guess I wanted to present to you a year on or a year later after the lawsuit and what has actually happened since that lawsuit was filed. So it was actually settled out of court earlier this year, and here are some finer details about that. I also encourage you, if you are curious, to look into the lawsuit. There are many people who made videos. I myself on the Marzi channel made many videos, but they aren't online, but they will be re-uploaded over time. And there's news articles and whatnot, and there is in fact the entire lawsuit document via TMZ, which if you do read, just a quick warning, there's stuff about abuse. Sinclair like broke into her house according to the legal document, and with that legal document came a lot of answers that seemingly were just a bit odd or suspicious before the document came out. For example, every video was privated except for 3, and it isn't exactly known why those 3 were left up, but it is now known why so many were privated. Mars Argo was not only in a working relationship on YouTube with GroceryBad.tv with Sinclair, but Mars Argo was not only her stage name, but the band name as well. And their last performance, or one of their last performances, was at South by Southwest. And the last episode of Computer Show, which was on GroceryBad.tv, not every video was a Computer Show episode, by the way, but the last episode of Computer Show was Day of Retribution, where they read the script from the Elliot Rodger video of the same name. But the last upload was in fact the music video for a song called Using You, which was a remake of a song from an EP from a few years prior to that. Since the lawsuit, Mars Argo herself, although this has been settled out of court and such, hasn't released any new music or really done much. She has been more active on social media though, which is good, and I don't doubt that she's going to make music, but this whole 1 year on or 1 year later thing for the Mars Argo lawsuit can't really be like, well, here's a year on from the lawsuit, we have all this new music and stuff, which is fine, and I'm sure we will have new music soon. Poppy herself, who was part of that lawsuit, she is keeping on with Sinclair, and they are releasing music. He's like co-producing music, and they're touring and everything, and hopefully Argo will do the same in due time. And if that does happen, that will be covered on this channel most likely. As a fan, it would have been nice to see Argo release music since the lawsuit was filed, but I do understand that these things take time, and I'm sure it's going to be worth it. And she was in fact going to release music prior to the lawsuit, but Sinclair named a song after what would have been her name for her project, and so that stalled that. And there's been a whole bunch of other stuff that has just led to music not happening in the past since GroceryBad.tv finished. But she has access to all the accounts, and maybe all the Computer Show episodes will be made public again sometime soon. This is really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the lawsuit and what was either in the lawsuit or what's happened since the lawsuit, and as I said, I do encourage you to look into it. But this is like my 4th time trying to film this, and I am just trying to stick to it being in the lawsuit, because in the previous videos I just blabbered on about Mars Argo, because that's the reason why I made the Marzi channel. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this, and if you are a fan of Mars Argo, let me know what you think about what's happened since the lawsuit, and if you think there'll be new music or whatever. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon for more content.